Hello, Wastelanders. It's Jewel Smith. Today, I am Fiona, General of the Minutemen, and with me, as always, is my life partner, Hancock. I am currently level 110. I just reached 110 yesterday. And I'm going to give you a little tour, the next episode in my settlement tour series. This is Graygarden. I'm going to run around Graygarden during the day, and then I'm going to wait a few hours and let you see it at night as well. So, let's go. I unlocked Graygarden pretty early in the game. My last episode, I was at Outpost Zamonja. But then I think Preston sent me here. Why is there a gun? I'll take that. Preston sent me here because another settlement needed my help. So here we go. This is Graygarden. And I like to enclose my settlements, as you probably know from watching previous videos. A Deathclaw spawned right here yesterday, and this little wall kept him from rampaging through the mute fruit. Not that it matters that much anymore, because things seem to self-repair. They didn't used to self-repair, but now they do. Now this greenhouse building is there when you unlock the settlement. Uh-oh. Yep, defend the checkpoint. There is a Minutemen checkpoint over here. Is this gonna ask me to... Nope, I guess. I wonder what I saw exploding over there. But there is a Minutemen checkpoint right here. Depending on the ending that you do for the quest, the main quest line, I guess, maybe it's a Brotherhood of Steel checkpoint or an Institute checkpoint. I'll take all that stuff and scrap it. But in my game, it is a Minutemen checkpoint. Very close to Graygarden. So, alright, well, no excitement there. Let's go back and continue looking at Graygarden. When I unlocked this settlement, I really didn't do much with it. I felt kind of weird. Since the robots had been handling it so well for 200 years, I thought, well, you know, what can I do with the place? But I eventually sent a few humans over. I've got several Minutemen who are guarding it. See, I've got a guard tower way down here, some turrets. I built this little bridge across the front. So I guess it's not really enclosed. It's enclosed a little bit up there. So people couldn't just climb over the rocks and get into the place, I guess. Well, you could climb up there. But, you know, it's on a slope, so it's kind of an awkward space to work with. This is the front entrance. Straight over that bridge, Oberland Station is right across there. You can kind of see it in the distance. There's, I think Oberlin's over there. And we'll visit Oberlin in another video. Probably not my next video, because the next video I'll visit Sunshine Co-op, but the video after that. So here's kind of where I put the entrance of the settlement. You come up in here, a little bit of a wall built around it. The caravan post in the center of town. These trees can't be scrapped, so there's not much you can really do with them. So I kind of lit them up and turned them into a park. That car also cannot be scrapped, so you got to kind of work around it. This building, I have a barracks for all of my guards. Technically they are settlers, but I have them dressed in Minutemen uniforms, and I like to think that they're Minutemen guards. And in here we also have target practice with the harpoon gun. I could take it out and do a little target practice from time to time. Alright, and then, oh, excuse me, John. Speaking of John's, we have the bathroom, bathtub, and some toilets with some reading and or wiping material for the settlement. A little storage area under there. A little living space up here for some of the settlers. My scavenger lives up here. He's a ghoul. I like to give my scavengers kind of fancy digs, because I feel like if they were scavengers, you know, they would be scavenging a lot of stuff and they would have a little bit more than the typical settlers. There's not a lot in here. I used to put a lot of detail into my settlements, put lots of little items laying around, like a hairbrush on the dresser and clothes and laying around, and you know, lots of things on the shelves and whatnot. But then when they get attacked, the people attacking and or the settlers themselves end up kind of knocking stuff everywhere, and then I spent all my time cleaning it up, so I stopped putting lots of little objects everywhere. It doesn't look quite as realistic, but you know, what can you do? So I have a little canoodling nook back here where John and I can sit and snuggle and watch the sun go down if we're so inclined. And then this is kind of the back entrance to the settlement. I have a provisioner that likes to come in and out through this back end here, so I left it open. Hey, John. Now, he's not wearing that bandana because I want to cover his face. I have no problem with his cute little raisin face. Oops, sorry, I'm reaching over for something here. I have no problem romancing a ghoul. The reason he's wearing that is just because I thought it looked cute, it matched his belt, and there's only one in the whole game. I mean, I guess they can spawn randomly sometimes on settlers or something, but if you want to find one in the game, you have to go to Monsignor Plaza, which is, I think, southwestish of Bunker Hill, and you'll find one on a shelf in there, but that's the only one I know of, so we went and got that one for him. And I just think it looks cute. But no, I'm not trying to cover his face. I have no problem with ghouls. See, I've got this enclosed here for safety reasons. Guard towers. Oops, starting to get dark. Now you'll see it all lit up at night. A little shopping area here. Got a store and a clothing store, general store and clothing store. And they live behind their shops. This is my warehouse or my workshop kind of area here. Some of these things you can't scrap. This is kind of part of the settlement. These yellow equipment, I don't know what they are, some kind of control panels or something. You can't scrap those. That's where the workshop is. So I just turned it into my workshop. There's the scavenger station, the weapons workbench. There's my scavenger. I built this robot workshop here, workbench, because I thought I might be able to interact with the robots in the settlement and modify them and improve them like you can with Mr. Handy, or not Mr. Handy, but you know, Codsworth, you know, the Mr. Handy. But you can't. See, it only lets you do new automatrons. It doesn't let you fiddle with the robots that live there. So, oh well. What I'll probably end up doing is getting rid of that and putting in a weapons and armor, making a little armory like I've done with other settlements that you've seen in other videos. So I'll put the weapons and armor shops, little, you know, counters in here, and put in some weapons on the walls and some armor mannequins and such. But for now, I just left that so you could see that, you can't do anything to the robots that live here. In fact, the robots that live here are sort of like settlers themselves. As best I can tell, they need to have beds, which is unlike other robots in the game. Oh, now it's going to rain. They need to have beds at Graygarden. And here's a junkyard dog. I got the junkyard dog from the guy that wanders around. He usually seems to be in the northwest corner of the game is where I always encounter him, around Sanctuary or Sunshine Tidings Co-op, or somewhere up there I see him. But I've encountered him twice, so I've bought 2 dogs from him, and I sent one here. But if you have Far Harbor, then you can go buy dogs from Erickson, which I also do that now. Inside the greenhouse, you can't scrap any of this or move any of it around on console. I wish I could, but I ended up putting the med station in a little hospital area, first aid area back here with a doctor, and a little cafeteria up here with a stove and a pantry. I wish I could deactivate some of these sprinklers and move some of the greenhouse stuff around, but I can't. I can't plant anything in this planter. I'll show you. I can only scrap it. And that's kind of a bummer. I can't put anything in there. See? So, oh well. I've done the best I can with what I got. And now it's starting to get dark. And you can see the headlights I put on the car, which I also cannot scrap. And I put tail lights on the car. I did that with some red neon apostrophes from the workshop. Which I don't know if you know this, but the latest update added an interesting little feature. Now it tells you what add-ons, like you see that little where it says special on the bottom, and it has a little picture in the corner. It looks like Shrek. That's the automatron icon, and it tells you these things came from the automatron add-on. So if you go here, oh look, that's the Far Harbor add-on, little boat. And where else do we have? We have some more, well, somewhere in here. See it? Oh, that's the Wasteland Workshop add-on, the little Deathclaw head. So now I know, I can tell where some of these things come from. Anyway, that was just added recently. I just noticed that today. Alright, so we've looked all around the main settlement. That's pretty much all I've got going on up here. Why are you on the roof? So let's go up and check out the party bus. Now you can get up here by running up here, and my settlers do sometimes climb up like that. I put the elevator in after it was added by a recent add-on. I think it was Contraptions added the elevators, but my settlers never seem to use elevators, but they usually just walk up the corner down there. But here I put in the party bus. And I have a little bit of power up here. I have a barricade, even though nothing ever attacks up here. But there's the party bus. I enclosed this with cement so that my settlers don't fall off after a raucous night of drinking. But there's the bartender. She sleeps behind the bar. Put some seats in, put in a radio and some disco balls. We're all ready for fun. And of course I have my crash pad back here. I like to have a little spot where John and I would sleep while we're working on settlements and, touring the settlements and helping out the settlers. General of the Minutemen needs to have a place to crash. So there you go. We have a hot dog poster, because he is my hot dog, and a box of candy, and little goodies. So there you go. And a radio. Little privacy curtain there. Not that John cares about privacy. So yeah, so there's the party bus. Now the settlers seem to have a hard time getting up here. I mean, they'll come up here sometimes. Sometimes they don't. I don't know why their pathing doesn't seem to be the greatest. Well, hello. How you doing? But this is where I have the elevator. Oh, over there you can see the power generator and some of the water pumps. But yeah, this is Graygarden. Graygarden by night, Graygarden by day. I think there's 11 people living here, and so if I turn that into an armory in there and I add in a weapons and an armor salespeople, then I guess I'll have 13 people. The robots count as people, however. So it says 16, but that's 11 settlers and 5 robots. The settlement starts with 6 robots, but one of them got destroyed in an attack and cannot be repaired. Of course, I guess I could build another robot with my robot workbench, but I haven't done that. I've just kind of left it as is. So there you go. Thanks for hanging out with me and spending some time seeing my Graygarden settlement. Next, I will be going to Sunshine Tidings Co-op. I hope to see you then. Like and subscribe if you're enjoying them, and I will keep on keeping on with this settlement tour. And see you later. Bye!